Timotab, and today I'm going to solve less than 3 by AnalyticalNinja. With it being Valentine's Day, what better than to do a puzzle based on hearts? And there are a lot of hearts in this puzzle. Okay. If you would like to try solving this puzzle for yourself, it'll be the first link in the description. Let's have a look at the rules. Normal sudoku rules apply, so we are going to place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Cells separated by a white heart have a difference of less than 3. And I like that the less than 3 makes a little sideways heart. That's cute. So if this were a 4, this could be a 2, a 3, a 5, or a 6, because they all have a difference of less than 3. Cells separated by a black heart have a ratio of less than 3. The larger number divided by the smaller number yields a number less than 3. If this were a 6, say, then that couldn't be a 1 because the 6 divided by 1 is 6, which is more than 3. It couldn't be a 2 because 6 divided by 2 is exactly 3, which is not less than 3. But it could be a 3, and I think anything higher than that. Okay. I am now going to restart the puzzle to reset the timer, and let's begin. Okay, my gut tells me that the black hearts are going to be fairly restrictive. So let's investigate how our black hearts work. Okay, I can go with a 2 because 2 divided by 1 is 2. It can't go with a 3 or higher because I'll have 3 or more as our ratio. So 1 is actually quite restricted. 2 can go with a 1, it can go with a 3, it could go with a 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, but it can't go with a 6, because 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 can't go with 1, it can go with 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but not 9. That's not very restricted at all. That can go with anything above a 2, or 2 up, anything above a 1. 5 can go with anything from 2 up. 6 can't go with a 2. So we get 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. 7 can't go with 2. 8 can't go with 2, but can with 3. And 9 can't go with 1, 2, or 3. So low digits are very restricted. Okay, I think that's given me a place to start looking. Ah, yes, there we go. I need to place a 1 in this row. But 1 can only go with a 2. So I can't place a 1 in between 2 black hearts where both of those digits see each other, because they would have to both be 2. So that means 1 goes here or here. And in the bottom row, 1 goes here or here, and that's interesting because that gives me an X-wing on 1s. So what do I mean by that? 1 is definitely in one of these 2 spots. And 1 is definitely in one of these 2 spots. And in fact, whichever one it is in the bottom row, it'll be in the diagonally opposite corner in the top row. But that means that no matter which way we do it, the ones, because we're accounting for the ones in both of those rows, we're also accounting for the ones in the columns. So none of these can be a 1. Now, because we get a 1 there, if that were a 1, that would have to be a 2. If that were a 1, that would have to be a 2. If that were a 1, that would have to be a 2. And if that were 1, that would have to be a 2. So now we have 2's in these 4, which we figured out from the rows. But that means that 2's can't go in any of these cells. We have another X-wing on 2's. So and yeah, 2's have some heart restrictions. Okay, 1's have a lot of heart restrictions. All right, one could go here, and if it's here, it's clearly not in the rest of this box. But if it's not here, it's down here, with this being a 2. That means that neither of these can be a 1 because, if the 1's not there, the 1's here. So that eliminates those. Can't have a 1 on there because the other digit would have to be a 2, but the 2's going to be down here in that case. Those can't be 1's, so one of those is a 1. Or this one. Mustn't forget that. Right, so one of those is a 1. What about here? Right, 1 can't be in one of those. It could be there, if that's the corner that the 1 is in. If that's a 1, then that's a 2. Right, can that be a 1? If that's a 1, then that's a 1, and that's a 2. But that would have to be a 2. So no, 1 cannot go there. 1 is in one of those 3. And 1 is in one of those 3. Because these can't be a 1 because of the X-wing. This can't be a 1 because that would be a 2. This can't be a 1 because that would be a 2. In this box, where does the 1 go? It can't go on any of these cells that have a black heart on them because I'd need 2 2's. So 1 is in one of those. That eliminates those 2 1's. That makes that 1. Those are not 1's. That's where that 1 goes. That makes that 1. That's nice. That's a 2 from what we've already discussed. This is the 1 to complete the X-wing, and that is a 2. That places a 1 in one of those 3. That's not a 1 by sudoku. If that's a 1, that's a 2, but it can't be. So that's a 1, that's a 2. That has to be 3. That's really nice. That's a nice opener. One of these is a 1. One of these is a 1. That's not a 1, they'd have to both be 2. If that's a 1, that's a 2. but this would have to be a 2-3 pair, so that's not a 1, and that's a 1. And that is 2-3, and that is 2-3. Very nice. So that is not 1. If that's a 1, this is a 2-3 pair, which it can't be. If that's a 1, that would have to be 2 or 3, but it sees 2-3 in the column. This is a really, really elegant puzzle. I love the idea of using less than 3 because they're hearts. Hearts all over the place in heart shapes. And yeah, it all seems to be coming together very nicely. I like it a lot. So that means that 1 is in one of these two. If that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 3. Don't see anything wrong with that just yet. Okay, 2s are restricted, so let's look at 2s. That has to be 3, 4, or 5. This has to be 1, 2, 3, or 4, but it sees 1 and 3, so that's a 4. So that's no longer a 4. 4, so actually white dots are quite restricted. White hearts, more restricted than I was thinking. Especially as we've got lots of 1s and 2s in play. Yeah. Right, so if that's a 4, that must be 3, 5, or 6. One of those is a 2. This 2 needs a 1, 3, or a 4. It sees a 4 and a 1. So that's a 3. That makes that 5. That makes that 6. That's 7, 8, 9, and that's not a 9. That 3 resolves this 2 and 3. This is 1, 2, 4, or 5, so that's a 4. This is 1, 3, or 4, so that's a 4. If that's a 1, that has to be a 2 or 3, but it now can't be. So that is not a 1, that's a 1, that's not a 1, and that's a 1, and that's all of our 1s. Nice. So, how about 2s? By sudoku. 2s go in one of those, and one of those. This 3 is on a white heart. So that means that is 1, 2, 4, or 5. That's a 5. That's not 9. Right, if that were 2, this would have to be 1, 3, or 4 by white heart. So that is not 2. That's 2. That has to be 1, 3, or 4. It could be a 4. If that's 2 on this white heart, that has to be 1, 3, or 4, and it can't be any of those. That's not a 2. That's a 2. That's not a 2. One of these is a 2. So 2 on a black heart can go with 3, 4, or 5. That one's not 5. That one is not 3 or 4. Yeah, 2 is definitely on this black heart. Yeah, we figured out it couldn't be there. Right. Can't be there by sudoku. Can't be there by sudoku. Can't be there because that digit has no value. Right, so 2 is definitely on one of those. So this is a 2 with a 3, 4, or 5, but it can't be a 3, 4. So that means that that is a 2, 5 pair in the column. And that's interesting because this 2 needs to be next to a 3, 4, or 5 on this black heart, and now it can't because I have a 2, 5 pair in the column. That can't be a 5, 3, or 4. That is therefore not 2. That is 2. That is 5. And then that was the only place for the 2 left in the row. So that is a 2. This is now 3 or 4. That's really, really nice. Okay, if that's 3 or 4, this maxes out at 6. That's 4 or 6. This maxes out at 8. So that's 5, 6, 7, or 8. If that's 3, that can't be a 6. So if that's 3, that's definitely a 4. And if that's not 3, that's definitely a 4. So that means none of those can be a 4. Yep, that seems reasonable. That can't be a 4, that can't be a 4 by sudoku, so 4 is in one of those two. And now 4 goes with 2, 3, 5, or 6. And we've already got our 2. And not 5, because we've got a 5 in the row. Do we have all of our 2s yet? Well, that's a 2 by sudoku, and that means that that's a 2. Okay, this 2 needs to go next to a 3 or a 4, but there's a 3 in the row, so that's a 4. Oh, that makes that 4. So that's 3 or 6. 5 goes up to a maximum of 7. So that's 3, we've already got 4, that's 6 or 7. Yeah, we got all of our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, got all of our 2s. Right. 3 by sudoku goes here or here. If that's a 3, that has to be from 1, 2, 4, or 5, which it can't be by the rows. So that's not a 3, and that is. How are we doing on 4s? We have quite a few of those. Okay. This 4 is restricting this digit. 2, 3, 5, or 6. So that's 3, 5, or 6. These are 6, 7, 8, and 9. Three is in one of those. Hmm. Um, that's not a 9 because of this 3. Right. Okay, this digit here can't be more than 7 because of the 5. No, that's not true. This is a black heart, not a white heart. Mustn't mix up my black hearts and white hearts, because that would be devastating. To make that mistake, this too. This digit is restricted. That's 3, 4, or 5. But it's not a 3 and it's not a 4, so that is a 5. Okay, that removes a 5 from here. 5 in this row. Can't go here, can't go here, can't go there, must be there. Okay, this is against a white heart, so that is a maximum of 7 and a minimum of 3. Can't be 3 or 4, so it is a 6 or a 7. That gives me a 3, 6, 7 triple in the row. So that's an 8, 9 pair. That's nice. Okay, this is 6, 7, 8, or 9, but that one can't be 9 because of the 3 on the black heart. Four must be in one of those two. It's the only option it's got. So 4 must be one of those 3, but not that one by Sudoku. Fives in this box. One of those two is a 5. And that must go with a 3, 4, 6, or 7, but it can't go with 3, 4, or 6. So that is a 5, 7 pair. That 5, 7 makes that 8 or 9. So that's 8 or 9. But that 3 makes that 8. 3 can't go with 9. The ratio is 3. So that's 9. And now the only place for 9 over here in this box is there. That's not a 9. That's a 7, 8 pair. That makes that a 6, 7, a 6, 9 pair. That is 6, 7, 9. Okay, I think that is useful to mark because that is 3, 6, 7, no, not 7, 3, 6, 8, 9. But that one can't be 9 because if that were 9, then one of these two would be a 3, and then we'd have a black heart breaking it. That 9 makes this 8. So 9 is in one of those 3. And 9 is in one of those 3. Okay, now where do I look? That 9 can't go next to a 6 on a white heart. So that's a 7. That's not 7. That resolves this 8 and 7 here. That is not 8. That is not 7 or 8. That's a 6. That's 9. That means that 6 and 7 have to go here in this box, making that 4 and that 3. The only digit left for there is 8. That means these are 4, 5, and 8. And that is not 4. This is nice. I like it. That's 7. Makes that a 3, 6 pair. Eight now has to go here in the box. That means that 3 is too far away. So that's a 6. That's a 3. That can't be 9 because of this 3 on the black heart. So where does 9 go in this column? It doesn't go there. It doesn't go down here. That's a 9. And so now this is a 6. Yeah, these 9s and 3s are doing some heavy lifting on these black hearts. This is very nice. That 3 means that that is not. That 8 takes that 8 out of there. And we get a 6 out of there as well. These digits in the row are 6, 7, 9. But that one's not 9. That's not a 6 by sudoku. That is 3, 7, or 9, so it's 3 or 7. Try not to sneeze. That 6 means that's not a 6. These digits are 4, 7, 9. And that one's not a 4. Remove the corner marks. Right, these 4 digits in the box are 3, 7, 6, and 8. 3, 6, 7, 8. No, not 6, 5. 3, 5, 7, 8. That's better. That is not. So if 8 is on this white heart, then it has to go with a 7. Because 5 and 3 are too far apart. If 7 is on the heart, it could go with 5 or 8. If 3 is on the heart, it can go with 5 only. If 5 is on the heart, it can go with 3 or 7. All right, white heart. If that's a 9, that has to be 7. That has to be 5. That has to be 7. That's 9. That's 7. That's 6. That's 9. That's 6. And that's 8. Wait, if that's 9, that has to be 7. That becomes 6. That makes that 9 and that not 6. That's the only 6 left in the column. So that pushes 8 up there. In fact, yeah, if that's 9, that's 7, that's only 6 left in the column, that's an 8. But if that's 7, that's 5, and that's 7, so that can't be 7. But we said if 8 is on here, we have to have 7 on here. So that can't be 9. That's a long step, but it's a nice one. All right, so that's 7 by, and then these are 6 and 9 by Sudoku. That makes that 3. That is 6 by Sudoku. This 6 makes this 8. Okay, that is not 3. That is not 8. That's a 9 by Sudoku. That's a 6. No, what have I done? That's a 9, that's a 3. That's better. 8 means, no, this is a black dot, not a white, black heart, not a white heart. Do not. That's a 7. Right, this 6 makes this 9. That's a 6. Okay, that is that's a 7. That is a 6-8 pair. No, that's not right. Because that can't be 6 by Sudoku or 8 by... No, yes it can. Never mind. Right, that is 8. There we go. That's 6. Have him. Not sure what I'm thinking. Right, that is now a 4-9 pair. Okay, if that's a 5, that's a 7. If that's an 8, that's a 7. So it's definitely a 7 on there, and that is not 7. That 7 on there makes that 6, and that's 7. That places a 7 here by Sudoku. That is 4 or 9 in the column, but it's not a 4 because of the 4 in the row. So that's 9. That resolves my 4 and 9 up here. These 3 digits, well actually I need a 3 that has to go there. And then I need a 4, 5, which I can place. That gives me an 8 here, 5 there, 4 there. That's a 5. That's a 7. That's an 8. That's a 7. And that's a 5. What a beautiful, beautiful puzzle. Yep, that is absolutely gorgeous. Love the theme. Love especially the theme of using less than 3 to mean a heart. Yeah, and how you managed to come up with placing all of those hearts in heart shapes, not quite sure, but it was a fantastic puzzle. Thank you very much, Analytical Ninja. I particularly liked spotting the 1 and 2 X-Wings and placing lots of 1s and 2s meant that the 3s and 4s became restricted on their respective white hearts. This here, where this became a 2-5 pair and eliminated 5 from here, so eliminating the 2 from here, that was very nice. And then I think the final tricky bit was, if this was a 9, then it broke this this white heart here. No, I really, really enjoyed that. Thank you very much for setting it. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. If you like this solve, then please hit the like button, subscribe to see more, and I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.